Hello students, I'm glad to have a lesson today with you. We've been looking at the question, or a big question, where we are asking ourselves, why did the events in the Gulf matters between 1970s and 2000? In our first subtopic, we looked at Iraq, and we were discussing how Saddam Hussein came into power, and we concluded by saying that he eventually managed to become the heir or the leader of that country. And immediately he came into power, he tried to, he established what we call the dictatorial government, whereby nepotism was seen in his country, where most of the rulers or the leaders, they were from his side of family members. Later on, we went to the other side of Iran, and we discussed about Iran, and we said Iran initially was under dynasty leadership, where Shah was there, was a president, or he was ruling. He was from the dynasty that was ruling, and therefore he might become the leader of Iran. And with the time, we said people could not like his leadership because it's like he leaned so much on the western side, which the country did not like, because he even abolished the Islamic leadership and came up with a calendar from the West. And I also said that he changed so much in the government, whereby the common citizen did not have a say in that country. And with that, we find a new person who came in. We call him the Ayatollah Khomeini, and we say the leadership of Khomeini came as a person who prepared the ground very well, and people, they knew this is the person who is going to help us cross the other side of the river. And once he came into power, we find it was not a walk in the park, because we said he was characterized, or his leadership was characterized with war with Iraq and other countries. And today, I want us to look at the question, why did the first Gulf War take place? That's the question we are asking ourselves. Why did they fight? Why did they have to fight? It's all of them we know in their country in the Middle East. Who is the cause of the war? So that's our key topic. Why did the first Gulf War take place? And we are going to start by looking at the event that triggered the war in the Gulf. So we are told that on 2nd August 1990, Saddam Hussein ordered the invasion of Kuwait. And why is he ordering the invasion of Kuwait? For many years, the Iran, they felt that this country was supposed to be part of them because it's bordering them, and they felt as if it's so much, it is of benefit to that country. And Saddam has promised his people that he is going to occupy that territory, whereby his people could get more land, and also the economy of Iraq could be boosted by that occupation. So within 24 hours, an Iraq force of 100,000 troops and 300 tanks had crushed the 16,000 strong Kuwait army and gained control of the principality. How will the people now look at Saddam Hussein and Iraq as a whole? Are they just going to allow Saddam Hussein to occupy that territory, or what will happen? So the ruler of Kuwait, Sheikh Jabal al-Saddam, together with most of his family, escaped to Saudi Arabia. And why are they running away? Because their life was what? Was under threat. So Iraq was immediately condemned in the Arabian League, and also at the United Nations, where they imposed economic sanctions. And now, you find now even the ruler has run away. The country now is left at the hand of Iraq, or under Saddam Hussein. And you find the whole world try to condemn that, and by imposing economic sanction, but you find Iraq did not take it seriously. So the question that I want us to ask ourselves is that what now will happen? Now Saudi Arabia is just near Kuwait, and if Kuwait has been taken over, it means the next person who will be taken away by Saddam Hussein will be Saudi Arabia. And therefore, we are told that the Saudi Arabia, they feared that they would become the next victim of Iraq, aggression, and therefore they appealed to the USA military assistant to come and help rescue Kuwait. So Saddam Hussein did not see it as an issue. Remember, when we're looking at his leadership, we said that he had built enough military organs, or he had built a very strong military during his reign, and therefore he knew even if the USA military would come, he still have the power to overcome them. And we are told that Saddam, unprovoked aggression, had united almost the entire international community against him. Yet, in his own mind, there had been compelling reason for his action, and therefore he did not fear. Even if you bring other countries, for him, he did not fear because he felt that whatever he was doing the right thing. So I want to look at why is Saddam Hussein claiming Kuwait. So that's what I want to look at, the historical claim. Why is he claiming this land? Why don't he concentrate with his country as Iraq? And I want to look at the background of the story between Iraq and Kuwait. So we are told that until the end of First World War, Kuwait had officially been part of the Turkish Empire, province of Basra, but the ruling of Al-Shabaab family had enjoyed a large measure of independence, meaning now after the World War I, we find the Turkish Empire was done away with. And this Basra family, which is ruling, even if they are enjoying a lot of superiority, or they are enjoying a lot of independence, Saddam Hussein felt that he can be able to rule that country more better than that Basra family. On the other hand, we are told that the British had accepted the responsibility for Kuwait defense and foreign affairs in 1899 up to 1922, and they helped the Kuwait to establish boundary with Iran and Saudi Arabia. So the association between Kuwait and Basra led to a number of Iraq rulers to insist that Kuwait was right-free for Iraq. It was not a country that was supposed to be left alone, but supposed to be a province of Iraq. And that's why Saddam Hussein is convinced that this territory, he can be able to occupy it. So both King Ghazi in the late 1930s and President Qasim in 1961 had demanded that Kuwait be incorporated with Iraq. So the previous leaders, they were really for Iraq and Kuwait being incorporated and made one country. So the movement of the British led to Iraq claim that the very existence of independence of Kuwait, which made Iraq a virtually landlocked country. Remember, Iraq is not in the coastline, but Kuwait is in the coastline. So if Kuwait was to be left alone, it meant that Iraq was to become a landlocked country. Landlocked country is a country whereby it does not have access to the coastline. So, and therefore, it meant that this one would be blocking the Iran, and they felt that the British was interfering with the Arabian affairs, and therefore they were supposed to be done what? To be left alone. So, what was the Saddam Hussein domestic position? Now that is about the Kuwait side of the story and the British. Now, despite Saddam's attempt to represent the Iran-Iraq war as an Iraq victory, we are told that he realized that Iraq people are the ones who are suffering most, because the Iraq people soon would go through the propaganda, and the reality in the country had endured a costly and bloody conflict that had essentially ended where it started. You find now when you are fighting another country, the resources of that country are the ones which are being used, and therefore he knew even if he has been able to sell the propaganda that we are winning this battle, the reality or the truth of the matter is that Saddam Hussein was not doing well, or his country was not doing well. So Iraq displayed many of the characteristics of defeated power, as inflation was followed by price control, Iraq prisoners contained in Iranian hands, and demoralized troops joined the rank of the unemployment. So what does this mean? It means that even if Saddam Hussein is preaching that we are winning we are the victors, we are the one who are winning this battle. The truth of the matter is that most of their troops, most of the soldiers, they were imprisoned by the Iranian, or they were taken captive by the Iranian, and some of them who felt demoralized, they left the work of the army and joined the common citizen. So the reconstruction project remained on hold because they could not go ahead. They are not able to go backward. You know, when you start a battle, sometimes it becomes very hard for you to declare that I'm a defeated person. So since January 1988, there have been at least 4 assassination attempts on Saddam's life involving army officers, whereby they were tired of him and they wanted to assassinate him. So some of whom served in the Republic Guard, his elite and the bodyguard. So all those they were attempting of assassination where they wanted to do away with him. So Saddam desperately needed to secure his rule, and also Kuwait seemed the answer to his problem. So he could pose as the liberator of the territory, which many of the Iraq regarded as rightful theirs, improve Iran access to the Gulf and acquire much stronger position with regard to the world of market. But is he able to do that? Imagine when the army start going against the ruler, that is a dead signal, it's a danger, because you cannot do without the army. They are the one who are protecting you, they are the one who are going to the war, and if they decide now we are tired, we don't want to be associated with you. That was one of the major problems where Saddam Hussein faced in his own country. That's why we are looking at the domestic possession. Now, other than that, we have the other one, the financial and economic factor is also another problem that Saddam Hussein was facing at home. And we are told that during the Iran-Iraq war, Saddam received a loan of approximately $40 billion from Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. Now, will they be able to pay all this amount of money? So, given that Iraq Power's war, shortage of money, and crippling debt, he asked both the country to give in or to write off those loans, or to forgive them, not to pay the loans. So on the ground that he had halted the spread of Islamic revolution, and therefore he had benefited both countries. So when he was fighting the Iran, remember during the Shah, we said there was a problem because Shah did not really bother with the Islamic. Or for him, what mattered is he's able to remain there in the leadership, and therefore Saddam Hussein helped to fight this war of the Islamic revolutions. Therefore, he demanded those two countries to reward him by writing off the 2 loans that he had borrowed from those 2 countries. And not only that, we are told that he also demanded new loans amounting to $30 billion to finance the construction of both Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. They refused. So is he a happy man or not a happy man? So let us move to the next clip, whereby we are also going to continue looking at, okay, let's look at the other problem. Now we have seen Saddam Hussein has borrowed, and now he again wants to borrow more. So Saddam was also annoyed that both countries had increased their oil productions, so bringing down the international price of oil and reducing the Iraq oil reserves. So you find whereby if there is more oil being produced, it means that the price has to go down. So we are told that the Iraq oil revenue had gone down to a tune of $89 billion between 1981 and 1990, and therefore Saddam now had started seeing danger. Now these 2 countries are coming up. They are coming up, and if they continue refusing my orders, it means at the end of the day, I might bow to them. So Saddam asked both the country, that is Iran and Kuwait, to bring their oil production into line with the quotas fixed by the OPEC. Yet again, the 2 countries refused, that is Iran and Iran. So you find Iraq and Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, they are not ready to take orders from Iran, and therefore they felt Saddam Hussein felt threatened. So Saddam, he also claimed that Kuwait was illegally extracting Iran oil from their place known as Rumaila oil field, which was close to Kuwait-Iraq border, and by engaging in slant drilling. So he said that these people, they have what we call slant drilling, is whereby you drill from your country, but you are able to connect to the other country. So therefore, he now have started some accusations that they are even stealing the oil from Iraq. Will it go well with them, or what will happen? So we are told that he gave the value of the oil that was stolen, and we call it the value of the oil so stolen amounted to $2.4 billion. So therefore, what does Saddam want with this stolen oil? He wants to be paid. So Saddam now accused both Gulf states of effectively waging economic war against his country, and he threatened their consequence if the matter could not be resolved. And if that means that if they cannot be able to pay this amount that has been stolen, there was going to be a problem. So, establish regional leadership. How did he do it? So the Iran-Iraq war had in part been an attempt by Iraq to establish regional dominance of the Gulf, because he was able to control the two countries, then he could have occupied the two countries. So I want us to start from there in our next lesson, whereby we are going to see how Saddam Hussein managed to dominate the two territories, that Iraq and Iran. Remember, we are still looking at the wars in the Gulf and how are they going to be resolved. With those few remarks, let's meet in our Go classroom and do our notes. Have a good day.